This is an interesting show. 2 weeks before Sacrifice, one week, not 3. 1 week before Roadblock. We get 7 matches on this show. Easily an influence from NXT. Let's make this very clear. We don't get this many matches on the show often. It's very rare. And I do believe it's due to the fact of the influence in NXT, and they're in Full Sail University. They want to show what they can do. So I will give them that. But I have this feeling that we should have had a little bit less matches and a little more content. Now, let's go for the matches quickly. We don't need to talk very long. What did we get with someone I didn't expect I would see in such a long time? Obo Mensah from Metaphor, who has not been seen in months upon months. The Meta girls are all we see. And now we see Mensah. And he goes up against Santana. Great match. I'm not going to lie about that. I think this was the best match they had on the show. No, it's the second best match. It was. It felt like it was very well built. It was important because we're still trying to get a little bit of Santana over. And seeing that Santana was... let me give it to you like this. We know where they're going to go with the Cabinet. That's what I'm calling a Mustafa Ali's team. The Cabinet. The Great Hands and the Tasha Steeles. That is his Cabinet. See how far they're going to go with it. They really want to make this a good feud. So the match was going along with the storyline, which is fine. They're trying to say that he's off the wagon again. They're trying to screw with him to start trying to drink so he'll mess up. And this is good character development for a... let's make it very clear. Santana had real problems. He did. That's why he changed his life, left AEW, came to TNA. He has. Is he a better person? I do believe he is. That's just my point of view. You guys can tell me below if there's anything new that you heard. But at least he has tried to turn his life around. And now they're using that in a storyline, which I believe will really help him. He needs more. And now they're giving it to him. And I'm glad about it. So seeing that the vid pack they had, which unfortunately was during, if you were watching on Access TV, you saw the vid pack and it's in between watching it and watching it in picture. They kind of went back and forth with it, which at least was a bit of a difference. So I will give them that. But I'd rather they didn't do it picture-in-picture. I kind of wish they did not go there, but since they were so constrained with the show and having 7 matches, that was an issue. They couldn't devote just like a minute of TV time just to the Cabinet. It was alright. Now, I know you're going to say what happened afterward in the back. Well, of course it goes along with it. I'm not going to say much about him demanding to see Ali. Just, that's it. Next, Tessa versus, well, what was her name? Kelsey Heather. Didn't last long. I didn't expect it to last long. And we get the destruction of Kelsey Heather. That was it. Now, it's good to see a jobber, which we've been needing. I say this again for TNA. I will give them props. You gave us a jobber. Good and enhanced talent. It's not someone that's already on the roster that shouldn't be jobbing so quickly or shouldn't be jobbing at all. You should be building up if they're going to have to job. And look what happened after the match was over. We get Ling Lee. They're not doing Ling Yang Lee. They're just doing Ling Lee. Which is good because Ling Yang Lee was a little too long. Ling Lee is okay. And now she's telling Tessa she talks too damn much. And Santino set up the match. Good. That's the way it should be. Give her people to go through. I don't want her to go through Marsha. Now, of course, Marsha got attacked by Jade after Tessa's match. But this is still going with what's going on. And I'm not going to add anything other than, yes. Let's make it clear. Marsha Sandwich is a good-looking woman. She is. She's a good-looking woman. Jade's a very good-looking woman. Not much different than Marsha. They're both good-looking women, but I kind of like Jade. Yeah, of course you could say, well, you like the boobies. That's the reason why. No, she does have a good character. She does. So does Marsha. I could be with Marsha either way. But I'm not going to say I don't like Jade more than Marsha. I just do. At the moment I do. But you know who I like more than either one of them? Natalia Markovich. That is a woman I want. That is a woman, if she went to TNA, she will terrify people because it's not just that her titties are huge and she's a well-built woman. That woman, when she worked in NWA, was doing hardcore matches. She's a sexy-looking woman who legitimately could do hardcore matches. She didn't care if she busted her nose open, was bleeding from her arms or from her tits. It didn't make a difference. That woman would go to war. And she's a damn good-looking woman with a great body. She's got a rockin' body, but she doesn't give two flips about that body. When she's in the damn ring, she will fucking kill you. That is what we got with Natalia Markovich. And if she went to TNA, she will terrify people. You think Marsha Slamovich is dangerous. I know Natalia Markovich. I still remember Natalia Markovich. That woman would destroy your ass. I'm sorry. That's the truth. Let's move on. What do we got with Macklin going against Casey Navarra? Casey was just sacrificed for the storyline. And that is the Northern Army and Eric Young. That's what that was about. Now, mind you, did Casey wrestle well? Yeah, of course he did. He's a good wrestler. He also has really great character and charisma. Let's make it very clear. Between the two, AJ Francis and KC, KC is way more charismatic. He just, in some cases, just outshines AJ Francis. And AJ is not a bad talker. He's got charisma. He's got character. But it's like, most of the time, it's AJ Francis. Casey's here. But when Casey wants to do it, he goes here. There is no way to deny that. And that's not meant to be a knock against AJ Francis. He's just working with someone that's just slightly better than him. That's the deal. And it was a good match. We see the Armory just watching. Moving on. This is now the fourth match. And you see the title of this video. I'm going to say it now because it needs to be stated. The Knockouts Tag Championships, with the stipulation the concierge will attend the others. In other words, the tag champs, if they lose, they become concierge. If the Ashes of Elegance, I'm just saying it now, just calling Heather just Ashes. If they lose, they become concierge. And this isn't a new, let's make this very clear. This isn't a new concept. Always someone would attend someone else. They done WWE, they did WCW. Of course, TNA, of course they've done it. The only one they haven't done it much yet is AEW. Haven't done it yet, at least directly yet, as far as I can tell. In the 5 years, they generally have not gone there, but they're going to do that eventually. They will. But seeing how the match went, and knowing this is going to be a 24-hour thing, that means we're going to get multiple tapings of seeing. Of course, we already know who won. It was Spitfire that was going to win. There was no way they weren't going to win. Not on a regular Impact show. And they're not even setting it up for Sacrifice. That's where they should have done it. But they just wanted content. That's the reason why I did it on this show. So, the Ashes lost. And won. We see Heather trying to move a lot of bags, including a dumbbell bag. And then Ash deciding, oh, I see a nice, cute, dog. That dog looked like a monkey or something like that. And it wasn't Jody Threat's dog, because Ash was willing to take care of Jody Threat's dog. But it wasn't Jody Threat's dog. That was Steph DeLander's dog. And she made it very clear, don't you fucking say anything about my dog or I'll fucking kill you. And she walks off with the dog. But you get like a, what was it? It looked like a Saint Bernard. And pretty much, that dog looked bigger than Ash. And when it was all said and done, after the dogs walked, the Ashes believed they were going to be done. It was over. We're going to go home. Nope. the Ashes were not done. They were going on a road trip with Spitfire and the damn dog. And the dog, it seems like the dog liked Ash because she got licked in the face. And she said, what is that smell and where's all this hair? And Heather's sticking her face up against the glass saying, please kill me now. I'm going to tell you this. The reason I put this as the title, I had to do this. You know why? Because you need variation in a promotion. And you need to have it in proper doses. When you looked at WWE back in 2016, you had Breezango. I think it was 2016, 2017. No, yeah, 2017, 2016. You had Breezango. They were the most funniest things on television. More than New Day. They were so over. Why were they over? It was due to the fact they had great chemistry and the content they were producing was funny. And it doesn't hurt a promotion to have comedians. It doesn't. Then you look at TNA, and I do believe the person, I don't think he watches my videos anymore, the guy who loved, who adored Johnny Swinger. To me, Johnny was a decent comedian and a decent wrestler. To me, he was okay. And they needed that in the promotion because a promotion should have a comedic type of feel sometimes. Depending on the segment, depending on the story, depending on anything. But once they transitioned to TNA, done. He was gone. Now, what do you have? You have the Ashes. The Ashes are comedic wrestlers pretty much at this point. Ash and Heather are comedic wrestlers, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times when you have comedic wrestlers, it helps to spice up the show. It gives a little bit more variation. Yeah, it can be corny. Yes, it can be annoying, but nothing wrong with it. I had to say this because many people are going to be going, I can't stand Ash and Heather. Why did they do this segment? They needed it. You can't just have straight matches and hard storylines. Guess who's tried that? AEW. Where are they now? Not doing well. And now that they've gone away from their original formula of tag team wrestling, they've thrown everything and it looked like shit. Why? Because you don't know how to book it, but then you don't know the right timing when to book it. But at this moment, TNA is at least doing it decently well with the Ashes. Moving on. I'll give you like this. Sammy versus Mace Warner. I don't know why we had the decision after the match. Because I don't agree with it. Right when the match starts, Warner gets his ass kicked. And then Sammy decides, I don't care about this match. I'm just going to hit him with a chair. He DQs the match. They keep fighting. Santino comes out and he says, at Sacrifice, you're going to have another match. But this is where I don't agree. I don't agree. A street fight is not what they need. No. Either a first blood match, which I don't think is the right thing, but they could go there. A last man standings match is what I believe would be the best one. Now, I quit match. That could close off their feud. But a last man standings match, I think would be better than a street fight. Because we see street fights all the time. And doesn't mean they're going to have a bad one. I do believe with Warner and Sammy, it's going to be a good one. But I truly believe a last man standings match should be because of how bad this feud has been. They could have just skipped the street fight and gone to the last man standings match at Sacrifice. And if they still go all the way up until, what? Maybe the next pay-per-view might be Slammiversary? Maybe. I don't think so. I think it'll be another themed Impact show or TNA show. Don't remember which one is that. But they could then do a I Quit match to finally end the feud after like a month or two more. That's just me. Final. No, we still got 2 more matches. Oh my goodness, like I said, 7 matches. Ace versus a Frank Kazarian with a Wesley and his boys. Wesley and the crew. Maybe you want to say that the boys, the crew. I think more of the boys is better because they're still very green. And they were there to watch Ace due to the fact of his influence and involvement with the Rascals. The thing that I'm like, they need more. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad, but it feels like it needs something extra, like a stipulation or consequence after a sacrifice showing, because they are going to have a match there. Of course, due to the fact of all the influence outside the ring, you get the King winning. He does win. And then you see the Rascals coming out to save. I'm fine with that. But I still feel like they need something extra. Last match, the System versus Femi and the Hardys. Now, very little interaction between Moose and Obafemi, which was the wisest thing. This is one of the problems they have in AEW. They're just blowing the wad too quickly. It's very rushed storylines, and I don't agree with it. You want to make people care about you. You want people to care about Obafemi. You want people to care about Moose. You got to make sure that these two do not touch. You do as little as possible. If you got to, make it very brief. And in the end, Moose got the pin on Jeff Hardy. Now, of course, in the beginning of the show, Moose was complaining about Matt. Matt getting 2 pins on him, and he wasn't standing for it. And here he got his win back. So sooner or later, you're going to have another one with Matt and with Moose. But due to the fact of the fight afterward, Santino said Moose will have a match at Sacrifice. And it is, I forgot who it was. I think it's going to be Jeff who's going to get his shot at the title. But then they're also going to have a 10-man tag next week. If it's going to still have the Hardys and Obafemi, I think that might not be wise. I don't want to see Obafemi working with everybody too much. Keep them separate as much as possible. But it's going to depend on if Obafemi is going to be seen more on TNA TV. So that's just me. Excuse me. Now, what did I think about the Colognes joining the system? It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the Colognes joining the system. I'm sure people are going to say, well, I'd rather see the Colognes by themselves. At this point, being in the faction won't hurt them too much. They only show up when they need to. They want to dominate, so let them just be affiliated with the system. They don't have to outright join the system, which was alright. The next thing, what did I think about, there wasn't that much left other than that. Actually, that's it. Let's make this very clear. What we got here, and I know you're going to say, what about Joe Henry and Elijah? I'm not going to start that right now because I don't know how far they're going to go with Joe Henry after Sacrifice. That's why I'm not saying anything about him and his interaction with Elijah. But let's make this clear. Did we get a good show here? Yes. Are we going to have something when they do Sacrifice? Yes. Do I care? Yes. But do I feel like they need more? Yes. You gave us a lot of matches. You gave us 7 straight matches. But not enough content. Not enough character development. Not enough storytelling. Yes, we did get what we got here, and it wasn't all bad, but still, I would rather see a little bit more. But it's just me. Peace.